Okay. We're trying this again. Hopefully it goes better this time than it did the last time. Um, but hello everyone. This is Side Reel. There is not much to say here other than welcome to my sketchbook tour. This sketchbook was completed at the end of 2024. I started it in 2023. I picked it up as soon as I moved to my new city. So, I've done sketchbook tours before, or I've tried to. I've never really liked doing them because I don't have a lot to say about my sketchbooks in particular. Usually, my sketchbooks are just for fucking around. But people like them, so I guess we're gonna try that out again today. So, let us begin. Is that in camera? Is that in frame? Okay. So, first things first, this sketchbook all over the place. There is going to be so much variety in this sketchbook. Starting off with this here, which is drawn in crayon and colored pencil. This is my little guy, my little persona, or a version of him that I like to draw, or have experimented drawing him in this style. You can see later on, not in this, well, yeah, later on in the sketchbook, I switched to doing my dev sona, but in the beginning, I was really attached to this rubber hose style, old school animation looking guy. I really like the idea of combining this like cutesy rubber hose style with like detailed painterly backgrounds, or like different backgrounds that didn't match the style that I was drawing the in the foreground, I guess. So, yeah, I really like green and blue. That's going to be another thing you notice. Green, blue, and orange are staples of this sketchbook. Okay. So here we have another one. I was really liking dragons and tigers at this time, apparently. I think because I was working on Horrible Little Comic, which you'll see more of that later, but I wanted to really understand the forms that were used in that particular art style. But yeah, here we have again my little guy just chilling. I really like the blue and the orange. I really like the big eyes, so that's a through line. Um, Over here, I have it in grayscale, which I don't love as much. Um, and I'm looking at this and I'm trying to figure out where this branch comes from, and I don't know. But once again, color pencil in the front, crayon in the back. I really liked working with crayons. I had done a lot of work with oil pastels before I picked this sketchbook up, but oil pastels don't look so good in sketchbooks. They smudge a lot and they're messy, so I didn't include them in the sketchbook. Oh, okay. So here's some more little guy and then crayon background. This is supposed to be my car. It does not look like my car at all. My car is a Chevy Sonic, and it does not look like this. But longingly looking out to my car. I don't even know where this is supposed to be. But over here, brick poster. I really like the color block, big letter posters. And I thought drink water would be funny, but not much to say about this one. Well, I guess there is something to say. I really like the way that I had done the shadow here. So, it's the dark blue and then red and then poster, but I think that's pretty cool. And this is supposed to be a self portrait. I don't think it looks like me, specifically because my eyebrows are not that dark. And if it just doesn't look like me because my eyebrows don't look like that. But usually Stink Eye, it's got my moles, or he's got my moles, but not, it's not really me. This was when I was starting to go away from doing the cartoony stuff and started going back to semi-realism, I guess, but not before going over here and doing one more rubber hose guy. I think there might be a few more. Yeah, there's a few more. But this drawing was done. I was sitting on a bench on campus, and I started hearing bells, and I couldn't figure out where the bells were coming from. But I thought, oh, I want to be funny if there was like a weird little. This is also like horrible little comic style. This was the style I was using for horrible little comic at the time. So this would probably be like a worm character. Which if you are familiar with that comic, then you know what that means. I don't know if I want to explain it to you. Maybe I'll explain it later. Okay. And kind of at the same time as I was drawing this on campus, I had passed a girl who looked really cool. She had bleach blonde like curls, and she just looked really cute. So I wanted to draw her too. Over here, I used to live in this old ass apartment building that had a koi pond in the terrace area. I don't know what it's called, but like the area before you exit onto the street, there was this massive koi pond. And one day I had walked down and was heading to class or something, and I looked into the water and all the fish were upside down. Apparently the filter went bad and all the fish died. But it was really kind of creepy because the fountain had these old like spouts that were, people's faces. It just looked really creepy. So I wanted to kind of encapsulate that in this drawing. I want to turn this into a poster. I think it looks really cool, but kind of spooky, scary. Okay. And then over here, this is what my usual oil pastel stuff looks like, but these are drawn in crayon. So I do a lot of these, I don't know what it's called, analogous, tertiary color situations. Is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. But I did a lot of portraits like these because it's really easy to, I guess, build color using crayons and oil pastels and to get this like sort of, I don't know, grungy vibe. But these were both Pinterest references. I like this one a lot more than I like this one. Another through line in my art is going to be the eyeballs. I like a good intense stare. I like it to look like they're looking at you. Okay. Here we have my little guy again. I really like this particular sketch, and I think it's because I like the light blue with then the dark blue like detailing on the clothes and stuff. I think that looks really cool. I also really like the giant fly traps in the back. I think they look really good. But I also think that I might like this one a lot more because this one I don't like. This one I think is not as good, obviously. So maybe it's just like the comparison of these two pages. Like I just like this one more because it's next to this one. But who knows? Some more crayon sketches. I was dating a girl named Lily at the time, so I drew her a lily. And then this is a coffee mug that I had gotten at an art market. Please don't fall. Okay. But I like these two. I think these look most like regular art that you would see maybe in somebody's house. Here's my little guy again. This is when my hair had gotten longer, so there's very little consistency with my little guy. So, like, here I have a buzz cut, and I don't know that these two are drawn very far apart, but I guess my hair had gotten longer, and I had done that, like, mullet shaved side look for a minute. You can see here the way I draw my little guy's eyes now, they're much more, like, they keep the Pac-Man shape, but they're less pronounced, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. I don't like these two as much, and I think it's just because the colors aren't as intense. I didn't like press as hard on the crayon, I guess. But yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna cover this page with a sticker because I don't think I like it at all, and I don't want to include it in the video, but I do like this one. So these were both crayon portraits, drawings, things. This is a reference of Peter Steele. I'll probably put it on the screen somewhere if I can find it, but yeah. I like drawing with crayons because it feels very low stakes. Oh, and here we have some eyes. I really like drawing characters' eyes. I like drawing an intense looking set of eyes that are just, I feel like it tells a story. Like you can kind of feel the emotion off of this page. Like what is this person thinking? What are they feeling? And what is being portrayed there. I think this one would also make a really cool poster. And then of course we have another Peter Steele. Ah. Okay. So this is a photo reference from my friend's bathroom. They have a mirror and like a medicine cabinet off to the side that also has a mirror, and it creates this three-paneled look where you can see yourself in three different angles. Um, so I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to draw it. And then this is another Pinterest ref. This one was obviously more crayon. It's pretty cool. I like it. Some more crayon doodles. I'd gone to a friend's house and needed something to do, so I just started looking at Pinterest refs. I don't know what the structural integrity of this building is. It was a Pinterest ref though. I don't even know where it is. It might have been one of those like 3D mock-up things that you like do in Blender, because I can't imagine this place existing in reality. If it does, it would be pretty cool though. This is obviously just like a cliff overlooking a city. I like the simplified city in the background. I thought that was pretty good. But okay. And here's when I started doing marker stuff. So I got these, Crayola super tip markers, and I wanted to figure out how I wanted to use them. This is my character, Job Bones. So obviously here it says he is a medical illustrator. His adoptive parent is a mortuary professor, and he is a necromancer, actually. I feel like these are two different characters looking at them now, even though they're supposed to be the same guy. Job Bones is a character I've had for a while. He's part of a series, like a horror anthology that I was working on when I first moved to the city. He's also in general, he's part of the horrible little comic Wishing You Well universe, but I don't think I'd draw him again in this sketchbook. But there he is. And this is after I figured out what I wanted to do with my marker art. So I really like doing this light colored sketch and then putting in darker detail, and then finally more dark details. So like the pink and then the red and then the fine details in that purple. I thought that looked really cool. I haven't been able to recreate the vibes of this particular sketch in any of my other sketches. This is probably my favorite marker drawing in this entire sketchbook. And then I also wanted to try using the markers the way that I would use a oil pastel. So just building up from this like really light yellow color to that really dark red color. And the way that I like to use oil pastels is to make it like feel like it's coming off the page a little bit, to add, I guess that's like adding depth or something. I don't know. Some more marker sketches. I don't like either of these in particular. They're not my best work, but they're okay. Not much to say on them though. Okay, and then we start getting into my Project Gate stuff. So usually when I start a sketchbook, I'm not trying to draw my OCs. I know that's weird, but Job Bones is like, I started with Job Bones and then I was like, okay, I can probably, what if I just draw my other little guys? I have so many little guys that I could be putting in the sketchbook right now. So that's what this is. This is Dev, he's from Project Gate. This is Saros, he's also from Project Gate. If you're familiar with my work, then you would know that, but if you're not, that's who they are. I think it's very obvious when I'm drawing with a reference and when I am not drawing with a reference, because it looks like you can tell this was not drawn with a reference, or at least to my eyes, it looks like it wasn't drawn with a reference. And it's because his head is smaller, his face is more squished together. It's giving more anime, and then this one is giving more realism, I guess. I don't know. I just said that, but these were both drawn with a reference, and I hate both of them. I think they're both not good. This is Bowie, by the way. This one I don't love because his eye looks weird, even though that's what the reference had. His like eyes kind of squished up like that because he had his hand like punched into his face over here. This one I don't like because his nose looks a little too big, and then his eyes look a little bit too big, and then his mouth is really small. I don't like this page just in general. I also don't like, this is for some reason, I had like a dark blue marker and purple, and then I didn't have a lighter blue marker until later. So I didn't like the contrast in this one either. Some more marker sketches. This is when I got the light blue marker. This is when we start really cooking with gas over here. This is when things start to get real good. This is my character Poe. He's also in Project Gate. And then this is just like a doodle. I wanted to do like somebody looking up and then a skeleton looking down. I think it looks okay. It doesn't really fill the page as well. Some of my sketches don't fill the page all the way, but you are also starting to see I'm drawing a lot of faces. I'm drawing a lot of people. And that's kind of like it. That changes right now, actually. So this is Pixis. He's from the video game that I had made last year with a buddy. And then this is background practice. So I really suck at drawing backgrounds. I'm not really good at it. For this one, I just wanted to see, like, you know, building off the lighter color, darker color, see if that gets me anywhere, if it looks good. I like this one a lot. I think it's simple. I think it looks like a sketch. And it fills the page, so it's pretty good. I don't like this one as much, but it's okay. These were both Pinterest references, in case you were wondering. And then this is another self-portrait. This one, though, I took like a photo of my face, and so it looks like I took a photo of my face with an iPhone because the nose looks a little big. The nose is big, the eyes are big. It has that iPhone face. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it looks like I took it with an iPhone because I did. But yeah, I'm really attached to, like, I become really attached to this light blue marker because it just feels like it builds good. Builds good. This is another Pinterest reference. I like this one a lot. I don't usually do skin tones, so I think I was trying to experiment, like, can I make this look like a realistic, you know, human person with skin tones? And then I think it would have looked better if I did, like, a different color for the hair, maybe. This is another Project Gate OC. This is Ace or Dead. As you can see, like, again, I'm just drawing a lot of faces. Okay. This is Horrible Little Comic Stuff. This is Catworm. This is Puppy. And this is Seuss. So Seuss, before this sketchbook, Seuss was usually drawn in like a tracksuit, and then I put them in like an actual suit when I revisited their story and changed it up a little bit. Because they were supposed to be like a girl failure loser in the first iteration of Horrible Little Comic, and then I decided to turn them into a badass. But they also became not the main character, which is why that happened. But yeah, I really like this page. But if you remember back at the very, very beginning, like when I was doing this, that's why, because I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do the art style for Horrible Little Comic. Some more Pinterest references. These are also Horrible Little Comic characters. Again, you can tell when I'm not using a reference. This one was no reference. These ones were with a reference. This is supposed to be my character Iskra, and this is supposed to be Maxine. This photo reference in particular completely changed the way that I drew Maxine and kind of entirely overhauled her character. So, I don't know, I think it looks good, and I like the direction that her character ended up going in, but it's interesting how that works. For a while on Instagram, this photo was going viral. I'll put it on the screen if I can find it, which is like a guy looking at this poster of a beautiful woman. So I wanted to do Bowie and Dev in that situation because I feel like it's a situation that they would be in. I might redo it just because I feel like, it would be a really cute poster and I would like to have it on my wall. But maybe I'll do it digitally or something. This was a photo reference. This is Bowie. It doesn't really look like Bowie because it was a photo reference and it wasn't his usual photo reference. So there's like a guy he's like a model or something who I usually use for my Bowie reference. I also don't love this one as much because it is like that purple green color. It's okay. It's just not my favorite. But I like these two specifically because, like, in general, overall, I like this red because it covers the page. And then we're back to not covering the page at all because what was this? Hello? Okay, so I had drawn a Bowie on like behind these sticky notes, and I didn't really love it, which is why there are sticky notes over it. But I think this is cute. This is like when I draw them all chibi like, you know, just some cute dewy moments. And then if you recall, or if you haven't seen it, or if you have, I don't know if you have, a while ago I had done a like testing of two different marker brands, like cheapy illustration markers from, I guess, Five Below, and then some better like Spectra Noir. They're not Spectra Noir. What are they? They're just Spectra markers. Whatever. I drew this one first. let that be an explanation. I drew this one first, and then I was like, oh my god, it's so terrible. I have to try again. And then I drew it again using Crayola markers, and it turned out okay. But some more Bowies, just, you know, I think even like behind these sticky notes, it's just the same exact pose. I kept failing at drawing him, and I was like, I have to get one good Bowie in, otherwise it's not going to be worth it for me. Okay. And then here is another Bosif. I really liked, in that drawing that I did, it's not really a speed paint, in that like illustration I had done, I had changed up Bowie's color palette and gave him like an orange shirt and like a purple jacket, and I wanted to see what that would look like over here too, I guess. This is Val. It does not look like Val even a little bit, because if you've seen my character Val, you know that he has like this emo haircut going on. This was a photo reference. I like the face reference, which I think is why I had like drawn it. But if you remember, I had drawn somebody with like the peachy skin tone earlier, and I thought it would look better with like different hair, and I think it does look good. It just doesn't look like Val. Okay. Next. These are some photo references. This is from Pinterest. It's like a retro sci-fi cityscape. Over here, this is my kitchen. As I can see it, I live in a tiny ass fucking apartment that's very funhouse shaped. It's like a weird, it's not a rectangle, it's like a polygon. It's one of those weird ass shapes, but you can see kind of everything from my living room. So this is my bar. You can see kind of like under the bar. It's unfinished. It's not a complete, it's apartment, you know, it's got the landlord special going on. But yeah, there's my kettle, my wine bottles, stools, whatever, TV. This is the door to my bathroom. This is to the electrical panel. And that's like the rest of the kitchen. It's okay. I think it's cute. Okay, I was trying to recreate, with this one I was trying to recreate the vibes that I got from, where was it? All the way back. Motherfucker, all the way back. Come back. Oh my god, where is it? I'm not going to be able to find it. I'm not going to try. Okay. I was trying to recreate the vibes I had of that crayon drawing, and I wasn't able to get it 100%, and I think it's just because I had went a little too hard with the dark blue marker, but I was in kind of like a creepy mood, so I drew some eyeballs, and then this is like a poster idea that I had where it's like, you know, consumption. Yeah. Some more Bowie and Dev. This is another photo reference. This is the hockey AU. So this is not Dev as he appears in the comic. This is just a AU version of them where Bowie is a figure skater and Dev is a hockey player. It's cute though. This is an alcohol marker drawing. I don't remember why, but I don't hate it. It looks okay. Speak no evil. It's pretty cool. Kind of color blocky. Okay. This one, I had gotten some tempera paint markers, you know, like the kind that you use for like poster boards or whatever, or if you're a car salesman, you will write on the window of the car with these. I don't know. I like these a lot. I like them because they're very colorful. I like them because they're very simple. I think this one would have done numbers in the 2000s on like a t-shirt. Yeah, it's okay. Some more little guy. My favorite goldfish, or my favorite kind of fish, which is the Oranda goldfish. They're like fancy pet goldfish. I would never have one because I am not patient enough to take care of fish which is why I can't have any pets in general. I'm only patient enough for a plant, and even my plants hate me. Okay. I like this one. It's simple. This is fine. You know, like the room's on fire, but it's fine. This is my character, Himena, from Project Gate, but she's not in Project Gate. This is like a prequel story. This is Kai, but I wanted to create like a bug alien, and I wanted it to be different than other bug aliens. I really like the way this character design in particular came out. But yeah, they're like a thing. They're like a little situationship. This is when the Lackadaisy pilot came out, and I was like super into it for a hot second. So I wanted to make a little Lackadaisy character, like a little Sphinx cat. It's like the kind of like a naked cat, naked mole rat situation. But I like it. It's cute. This is when I rediscovered my colored pencils. And I had also gotten this like thick black felt pen that I started using as a line art. This is Acer. Not a lot to say about this one. These were obviously drawn without references, but I don't know. I think it's cute. This is also when I was drawing Bowie, super buff. I was drawing him really beefy. That doesn't stay very long, but at the time I was drawing him really beefy. Over here, this is Kai again. Better than like the previous version of Kai, which was just him. No. Yeah. So this is the same guy. And then we have some Dewey over here. I really like this one. This one is so cute. It's so cute. Yeah. But opposite to that, we have Saros and Kai. So these two are supposed to be like antithesis of each other's relationships. So Bowie and Dev are supposed to be like super wholesome and cute, and then Kai and Saros are problematic. They're all problematic, but these two in particular. This one, I had been seeing like a lot of chibi art, like chibi anime style art of like these cute little characters holding weapons, and I wanted to do that in this drawing. Also in these, like, he has a beard and mustache. This does not stay. It does not stay as part of his character design. That does not stop me from talking about it, though, because over here, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. Over here, it says Kai can grow a full beard, but usually chooses not to because his clientele doesn't like it. And then Bowie is jealous of this power. And then you can tell when I'm getting tired of a sketchbook because it becomes a lot less detailed and a lot less interesting. Usually stuff like this is stuff that I would put in my iPad. I would just draw it in Procreate, but I had wanted to put it on paper instead this time. So this is just more of them. This is just more character development, character plotting and stuff. So this is Saros in his early days of exile. He had this short mullet going. He used to have really long hair when he was in the Empire, and then he like cut it all off in his like Mulan moment. And then again, this is not a good couple. They're not like, they're supposed to be toxic and not good for each other. But Saros bought off Kai's debt from Theron, who's another character. It's like there's like a whole thing that's going on over here. So like Kai owes Theron money. Saros buys Kai's debt from Theron. So now Kai owes Saros money. It's a whole thing. This is more color pencil stuff, more black pen. I like these. I think I mentioned earlier, but my first love was color pencil. I'm the most comfortable drawing with color pencil, so I go back to it from time to time. But I like this one because the pose is pretty strong. And then this is Mithron. This is also when I started watching Dungeon Meshi, and I got really into Dungeon Meshi for a hot second there, so. More Dungeon Meshies. I think this guy's name is Lyson? I don't remember. But he had this, like, furry form. Yeah. And then I started drawing furries, obviously, because that's the obvious That's the obvious progression. I don't remember what this guy's name is. I'm blanking on it so hard. I'll put it on the screen if I remember. Um, this is Stella, and this is Dagon. So these are more prequel Project Gate characters, but yeah, I started drawing like chibis for a hot second. I think this is like, I don't know, I think it's really cute. And then over here we have Sable, who is a character from the video game. But like, in the version of the story where they get like yeeted out the airlock, they also become like possessed by this alien creature. Okay. And then, again, this is more AU. Parasite Sable is the name that I had given it. And then Exiled Link. So if you get the bad end of the video game that I put out last year, this is kind of like, or like, I called it the true end because I was like, what if it was dark and mysterious? I don't know if I would actually keep that as the true end though. But I don't know. I like the way these two, I like the way the sketch looks, which is probably why I didn't color it. And then over here we have some more Sable, but yeah, it's cute. Then we have Dakota, who is a character from the game, and then the idea was that these three would end up being in a team together. Like they would meet up and work together to take down Pixis, who you saw earlier. Alright, and then I wanted to create a weird alien species with lots of boobs, so that's what this is. Not a lot to say about this one. I kind of like the way that this looks. Usually when there's like alcohol marker on one page and it like really fucks up the next page, I care a lot less about how it looks and it ends up, you know, kind of looking cool. So then we have some chibis. Hopefully I have this oriented right. I guess we'll find out when I edit this video. But this is Coda. This is Nomen, who is a character you would also meet in the game. And then I didn't finish this probably because I didn't like the way that these were coming out. But this is Sable and this is Lynx. So pretty cool. Okay. Some pen sketches, more Nomen. And then this was a character that I was coming up with for another game that I wanted to make called Nightmare Atelier. So I was trying to come up with like character designs for that. I like the idea of wolf in sheep's clothing, but make it demon, but make it clown. So that's what that is. And then these were just some like potential backdrops. Okay. These are characters from Wishing You Well. So over here we have Logan, and then we have Uma, and then we have James. So not a lot really to say about this page, but I was starting to get back into my Wishing You Well comic, and that's why I had drawn them. I fucked up James's face though, and I also don't love the way that Uma looks, but I think, you know, it's cute. The only one I'm happy with is Logan, and I also don't think it looks very much like Logan either. So I don't know. He also does not have this helmet. That's not the helmet that he would have, but whatever. Okay, this guy's name is Kian. I have remembered his name is Kian. And then this guy's name is Louis. Okay, Kian and Louis. But these were my furry characters that I was drawing for a little while. Okay. And then obviously we have more Kian. This one, I think the head is like off center, but some chibi art. I like the way that this one looks though. Even though he's supposed to be a tiger, and his snout, his muzzle is way too long, but it's fine. This is another self-portrait I did of myself. This one actually kind of looks like me, back when my hair was shorter, but more Louis and Kian. This is an artist on Tumblr's OC. I'll put their username somewhere on the screen, but I got these multicolor pencils that I was enjoying drawing with, so. Some more Kian and Louis. I keep drawing his muzzle way too long, and it's because I draw Lou's muzzle so long. So I think that gets better later, but don't quote me on that. Um, I really like the way that this came out. It kind of just reminds me of like the old days of the internet when you were kind of just drawing whatever you wanted. I think it looks good. I think it's not like, it's very nostalgic looking to me. It's not the best, but it's nostalgic. And then this is Sadie, who is another character from that story and plotline. And this is supposed to be Kian's car. But, alright. I think we're nearing the end here. So this page, okay, context. Project Gate. This is his father. So this is the emperor before the current emperor. And he's called the Emperor of Light, and this is his bride over here. And then these two are Knight and Odalise, who are Dev's parents. But yeah, his thing was he was like terrified of getting married and having children. It's kind of like, I forget Marie Antoinette's fucking husband, but it's supposed to be like that. He's like terrified of, you know, getting married, and then he gets old and realizes, oh shit, I have to have a, you know, heir to the throne or whatever. Okay, these are some marker, you know, sketches. I am impartial once more to the blue marker. I think the blue marker does a lot for me. It does a lot of the legwork, but, you know, I really love big stone buildings. So that's what this is, and then like a fountain in a garden or whatever. These are some Art Deco buildings. Or this one isn't Art Deco. I think this one is a church from like somewhere. I can't remember where though. This one is Art Deco. But I was trying to figure out how I wanted the architecture in Project Gate to look. So that's what this was. Okay. These are some sketches. This is supposed to be me. Doesn't look like me. It's fine. It's whatever. This is a dog. It's pretty good. One of those weird, long, let me do it for you dogs, you know. Some more Kian and Louie. I think this one is kind of cute. And then this is Wishing You Well. So I had seen a photo of a bunch of dudes like on a bed together, and I wanted to draw the crew, the boys, you know, hanging out together. So again, Uma, Logan, James, and then teddy bears. I think it's cute. Yeah, okay. This is more of those tempera paint markers, but maybe a little bit more creepy than the ones I had drawn before. This is my friend Zosi. I will put his username on somewhere on the screen. I think I'm like real close to ending the sketchbook, real close to getting done with it, which is why I started like drawing whatever, but this was a Pinterest ref. Food. This is Ari from Wishing You Well. And then look at the little babies. Look at the little babies. Oh my god, they're so cute. This is Saros, pre-exile, and then this is Dev, pre-Saros exile. Saros is supposed to be taller than Dev, which is why he kind of like looks like that. They're so cute though. They're so cute. This is supposed to be the uniform that they wear in the military academy. But they're so cute. They're so cute. Anyways. Less cute. This is Corey, who is one of my old Star Wars OCs, which I've ported into Project Gate. But it was like, I wanted to draw him again. And then I forget who this was. But he's kind of creepy looking. Maybe it's better to forget. These are characters for a school project, so I'm going to put stickers over them so that, you know, I can protect my piece. And then this is obviously Kian and Louie. And this is Zizi. Zizi is also part of the Kian Louie. It's called Halfway Hands is the store they're from. So she's like Kian's rival. She's supposed to be like one of those red pandas, but I have here her online persona is very clean girl. IRL, she is quite the mess. And And she used to vape, but has been chewing toothpicks to curb the habit. So I didn't know this, but apparently you can get these like tobacco nicotine toothpicks or whatever, and they're like soaked in nicotine. Yeah. I discovered that and I was like, I'm gonna incorporate that into a character somewhere. This is supposed to be... Oh, wait, who is this supposed to be? My gut feeling is this is supposed to be Ari. But it also, the eye color is making me think that it's supposed to be James. James is not this sculpted. James does not look like this, though. So maybe I was just drawing a guy. I really like this one. This is more tempera paint marker stuff. And then this is a little goat creature. Cass. His name is Cass. I literally had to go through like... Anyways, this is Cass, and this is Cass, who is, again, a friend's OC. I'll put their username on there, but Cass is from Project Gate. And then I guess that's it. That's the end of the sketchbook. And this is where I finally started drawing my little guy as the little, you know, demon devil Sona. But that's it. Thank you for watching, if you made it this far. Yeah, goodbye.